Heyo, it's Jacqueline at Pixie Dust PhD. I am filming this on January 15th, 2025. This is the month 59 creator update. It's been a bit of a quieter last month in terms of Disney Park news, but there's still a few items I'd like to go over together, and then of course we will discuss month 59 and lifetime stats, analytics, and revenue. I hope your holiday season was joyous and the start of 2025 has been kind to you, but let's go ahead and get into that news. First, actually at Universal Orlando, it's getting close to time to pour one out for Rip Ride Rockit. The theme park announced that this roller coaster will be closing in early September 2025 to make way for a new experience. I love a good coaster and I like Rip Ride Rockit in principle a lot, and I don't know, 7+ years ago I enjoyed riding it a ton, but these days it's just been so shaky it really hurts my head, so I have been actively avoiding it, which is a bummer because it is a really good coaster. I hope whatever they're replacing it with is another coaster and not just an experience, but yeah, sad to see that one go, but honestly I think it is time. Next up, over at the Disneyland Resort, the Parkside Market is now open in downtown Disney. This is basically a small food hall. I know that there's a chicken shop. I think there's also a Korean-inspired bowl situation and a pretty nice-looking bar. I think there's one or two other vendors at the moment. It's definitely an interesting concept, and I think it makes a lot of sense in downtown Disney. When I'm next in Disneyland, I might go visit it. I'll say it's not a 100% must-do for me, but it seems like a good addition. Next, as of January 12th, the Membership Magic Beyond add-on is now in its active period for any qualifying Disney Vacation Club members who choose to buy it. So this is a $99 membership. It is for January 12th through December 31st of this year. So you could buy it in June. You're not getting it through next June. It really is just for this 2025 use period. I bought my membership early in the year and then I've already used one of the perks. I called in to make a reservation using one-time use points, so made a reservation, bought one-time use points all in the same call, and yeah, I only had to pay for 12 one-time use points, but I was granted 24 to make a 24-point reservation. Buying it was super easy. You literally just buy it online, and then your membership affiliation updates. So if you are a resale restricted member, I believe your affiliation is listed as DVC-ND. If you are a member that qualifies for membership extras, I believe your affiliation is DVC-Y. And then if you buy this extra add-on, your membership affiliation updates to DVC-BY. We already discussed what is included in the Membership Magic Beyond add-on option in a different video. I will link that in the description below if you are interested. Long story short, though, is monetarily you can definitely win out if you're planning on buying one-time use points, particularly if you're going to max those out, then it's a really easy call. If you were going to buy an instance of Memory Maker at Walt Disney World, so if you're going to take a Disney vacation and you would have bought Memory Maker for that exact trip, not as an add-on to your annual pass, but a separate single Memory Maker entitlement, then this is mathematically favorable for you to buy this add-on. And there are discounted day tickets to Walt Disney World and Disneyland. The discount on the Walt Disney World tickets is not that great, but depending on how many you're buying, the add-on may make sense. The discount on the Disneyland Resort tickets is considerably better, but again, depending on how many you're buying and if the tickets fit your parameters, so both sets of these tickets are weekday-only tickets. There's definitely some other additional perks, but those are the three big ones in my mind. Like I said, I will leave a link to the Membership Magic Beyond add-on video below for you to peruse. And hat tip to DVCnews.com for reporting this next item, which is that the DVC transfer point rules have been revised and loosened a bit. Now you are able to transfer points that have been banked and borrowed. This relaxation of the rule seems particularly beneficial for any single owner who has multiple memberships. So I'm a single owner with one membership because my two contracts are the same use year, so I only have one membership. But if you have separate use years as one owner, you then have separate memberships, and so being able to transfer to yourself your banked and borrowed points seems actually like a really great quality of life update. DVCnews.com also reported that it looks like the pull-down Murphy-style beds over at the Copper Creek for those refurbished rooms is going to be confirmed, which is great. Huge update compared to those pull-out sofa couches. Those beds always seemed deeply uncomfortable to me, and while I still would not prefer to, or maybe just would refuse to sleep on a Murphy-style pull-down bed, I think it's just obvious that they are superior to a pull-out sofa couch bed. And now that it is 2025, the new perk for folks staying on site at Walt Disney World is unlocked, and that is on check-in day, you can go ahead and enter whatever water park is open for free that day. I think it's been pretty chilly, even down in Florida lately, so I don't know how much that perk is getting used yet, but as the weather warms up, that's going to be great. And if you are looking at going to Walt Disney World in summer 2025, they did release a new promotion that is a free dining package. You do have to book at least a 3-night stay with park hoppers, and I think you have to book by early to mid-February. If you are interested, I will leave a link in the description below. Remember that typically buying the dining plan as an add-on to a reservation is not monetarily going to work out for most people. You can make it work, but you do have to try to make it work. But if you were going to go anyway during this time period and pay that full price rack rate for the hotel plus get the park hoppers, then you're essentially just getting a dining plan for free. So definitely look into it. That being said, there may be room-only discounts that are better for you than the free dining plan, and maybe you want to go that route. The easiest way to figure these types of things out, honestly, in my opinion, is just to work with a travel agent or a Disney certified travel partner, whatever they're officially called. I am not one of those, so not an expert here, but those people will have your back. And what is perhaps the biggest news, depending on your opinions here, I guess, but I think it's pretty big news, is Bluey is coming to the Disney experiences. Disney Cruise Line itineraries that are originating from Australia and New Zealand will have Bluey and Bingo on board. There will, of course, be standard meet and greets, but there's also going to be an interactive clue-filled game that will lead you to a dance party with Bluey and Bingo at the end. But if you're not heading out on DCL, especially not from Australia or New Zealand anytime soon, don't fret. Details about how guests can meet Bluey and her family at Disneyland Resort and Walt Disney World Resort are under development, so I assume we'll hear about that, I don't know, hopefully in the next handful of months. And on that bit, let's speculate, particularly about Disney World here. Where would you put Bluey and the Healer family? And it did say Bluey and her family, so I'm not sure if that means Bluey and Bingo or Bluey and Bingo and Bandit and Chili, the mom and dad, but I think we can assume at least Bluey and Bingo. So this is a really interesting question because there is the potential, in my opinion, for this meet and greet to just have huge demand. For anyone who was around when Anna and Elsa debuted their meet and greet in Magic Kingdom, those waits were absurd. So it wouldn't really surprise me if Bluey and Bingo racked up long waits. I could very easily imagine 60 minutes. I don't think 90 minutes is out of the question. So without thinking about the demand, I think the most obvious place you slot them is over with the other Disney Junior pals like Vampirina and Doc McStuffins that are already in that Disney Junior dance party area for Hollywood Studios. But if they do prove to have very high demand, very big crowds, like that's not maybe the safest place to put Bluey and Bingo for them and also for all the kids that are crowded around. I also don't know that area very well because I have never done the Disney Junior dance party, but I don't think that that is a good place where you could put in a meet and greet and like hide the queue to an extent. You wouldn't just want to have a 90+ minute queue like going outside of that building. That's not operationally a good idea. So ideally you have it set up more like, you know, a Meet Mickey or a Meet Anna and Elsa now in Epcot or the Princesses in Magic Kingdom where the queue's more contained and they're able to pump you through faster because you might go down different hallways to meet Bluey and Bingo, if you get what I'm saying. And right now, the only place that pops up in my head for that is the other side of Town Square Theater. So you can meet Mickey there, and then previously you can meet Tinkerbell there. I'm not sure if she's still meeting right now, but there is a different side. So I think maybe you just slot Bluey and Bingo in there. But honestly, if I am Walt Disney World, I'm just going to put a paywall in this, and I'm going to put them in character dining. And the easiest slot, in my opinion, is probably just Hollywood and Vine in Hollywood Studios. Again, because then at least you're kind of keeping the Disney Junior preschool area theme together, and then you're also not disrupting like a terribly iconic character dining situation. Like you could put Bluey and Bingo in at Crystal Palace, for example, but then like, okay, but that's supposed to be the 100 Acre Woods. That feels a little bit wrong, right? In my Chaos dreams, I would love it to be at Princess Fairy Tale Hall because that's always like Cinderella and a guest, and that person's not guaranteed. So what if it was Cinderella and Bluey? I just think that would be so funny. I don't think that's gonna happen though. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Where would you put Bluey and Bingo for a meet and greet in Walt Disney World? What big obvious space am I totally forgetting to think about? That was the news from this past month that I wanted to cover. As always, let me know in the comments down below if there was something that you want to chat about that I missed. And before we get into stats and analytics, I did just want to mention that next month, February of 2025, is actually the year 5 anniversary of the channel. So that will be month 60. We will have been posting for 5 full years and moving into the 6th. For these year anniversaries, I usually do a little bit of a different style of monthly creator video, or sometimes I make separate videos. So if you have any questions you want answered or requests, leave those in the comments down below. But getting into this past month, month 59, I pulled the stats from December 11th through January 10th. Just prior to the start of this monthly period, I did post the 2025 DVC dues analysis video. I think that was December 7th or so. So yes, obviously day 1 was in month 58, but since then has mostly been contained in month 59. Then we did a DVC news roundup of a lot of little tidbits that had come out. Last month's monthly creator update, I took you along to our Space 220 lounge reservation. I posted the Festival of Fantasy parade that I got to see in my October trip. And we dined at Skipper Canteen for the first time in like 4 years, so shared that one too. And then not counted in these stats because they were posted after the month 59 period, but recently I did upload 2 videos. One was a quick look-in at 11-month availability for DVC at Walt Disney World, specifically for that sort of early December timeframe in 2025. It was looking pretty rough. And then just recently we did a recap of perks that Walt Disney World Resort on-site hotel guests receive, including that new benefit to enter the water parks on your check-in day. Over on my Ko-fi for monthly members, it was a little bit lighter this month with the holidays and everything. I didn't spend as much time on the channel. I did share some exciting news about my upcoming Disneyland trip. It's not broadly applicable to Disneyland or anything. It's very personal to my trip, but still totally elated about that. I shared a spreadsheet for the Festival of the Arts booth menus. That way folks could use that in their planning if they're going during the festival. And then prior to the video being posted, I did share a 1-pager slick sheet about perks for on-site guests at Walt Disney World Resort hotels compared to what you would or would not get as an off-site guest. Top videos this month are mostly DVC and room tours. Unsurprisingly, the recent DVC News Roundup and the Membership Magic Beyond add-on videos were our most popular. Island Tower news updates are still on this list, but they are starting to fall down. Again, that makes sense given that the tower is now open, so the demand for the news and the information is definitely lower. And the 7-month DVC availability video I posted in November that was looking at June 2025 did stay in this top 10. Officially, only one of these was posted this month, but there were a few that were posted relatively recently. And I think potentially with people traveling for Thanksgiving or other breaks, there might have been some delayed viewing. Regardless, it's good to see these recently posted videos still racking up views this month. In month 59, the channel overall got just over 6,200 total views from just under 4,500 unique viewers. 869 of those unique viewers are returning viewers. Thank you so much for coming back to the channel and supporting. I so very much appreciate it. All of your interactions with the channel, liking the video, commenting, subscribing, etc., that all feeds the algorithm and tells YouTube that I am doing something that might be worth promoting to other people who could be interested. And big thanks to the monthly Ko-fi supporters. Right now that's Amy, Tiffany, Judy, Michelle, Tara, and Coco. This past month we got just under 400 total watch hours on the channel. This came from about 82,000 impressions, with 33.4% of those impressions coming from YouTube. And all in all, the channel received 29 new subscribers on the month. Moving over to lifetime stats, the channel now has over 370,000 views lifetime, resulting in just over 24,000 lifetime watch hours. Lifetime, we're now about 10,000 impressions shy of 4.1 million impressions, and 40.1% of those impressions are coming from YouTube. And overall, as of January 10th, the channel is at 1,926 subscribers. Doing some comparisons and reflections, this month compared to last month is kind of a wash. Yes, obviously some stats are down. We got fewer views, less watch hours, etc. But the difference month to month in a lot of these stats was pretty minimal. I will say that time watched from those not subscribed was considerably worse this month than last month. But the number of new subscribers this month compared to last month was way better, almost double. So if there's only one stat that's going to do way better, I would pick subscribers every day. And not too much to say lifetime. A couple of the lifetime stats are trending down by 0.1%, but again, not a big deal, and that can bounce back at any time. It's neat to have eclipsed 24,000 watch hours, and we are starting to chase 2,000 subscribers. Though I'm still 70 plus away, so I doubt I will hit 2,000 before the 5-year anniversary in February, but I don't know, a girl can dream. If you've got any friends interested particularly in Disney Vacation Club and you want to share one of my videos to them, maybe they could subscribe. I would really appreciate it. Moving on to revenue, for month 59, it's estimated that I made about $50. That's a little $8 for every 1,000 views overall, or a little under $24 for every 1,000 ad views. And here were the top performing videos in terms of revenue this month. So funnily, even though the DVC News Roundup was the #1 video by views, it is not the #1 video by revenue. I don't know how these things work. I was expecting my revenue to be lower this past month, so I am pleased to see it still at $50 on the month. That being said, I am aware that December is apparently the time where advertisers pay more. I don't know if they advertise more or they just pay more to have their ads up, but for holiday shopping season, I assume. So December revenue always feels a little more inflated than I'm anticipating. For example, we didn't even hit 400 watch hours on the month, but my revenue was higher than average, I would argue. Lifetime revenue, we're now at about $1,400 earned. This is $3.78 for every 1,000 views, or $20.44 for every 1,000 ad views. And here is what the past 6 months of revenue looks like. So yeah, you can see relatively how strong November and December were, despite maybe those not being the strongest statistics months for me. Looking ahead, once again, I don't have a terribly large amount of information to report to you. The first 2 videos for this monthly period have already been posted. If you hadn't had a chance to check those out yet, I would appreciate it if you did. And then during my October 2023 trip, we did a Blue Launch boat crawl. So there's the monorail crawl, but if the boats are running, you can also do a boat crawl. We went from Bay Lake Tower over to Fort Wilderness, over to Wilderness Lodge, and then back to Bay Lake Tower. So I'll be sharing that adventure. After that, I'm not too sure. I haven't edited anything. I was really hoping to have some downtime around holidays to do that, but ironically enough, work picked up and it was some of the most stressful, busiest time I've had maybe since grad school. Top 5, that's for sure, top 5. So yeah, between work, chaos, and then trying to rest when I could, I got a little bit sick, all these things, like, still pretty behind on the channel, but we're making it work. I haven't missed an upload yet. I guess I did take some time off, but I told you I was taking time off. And then on the members only side, I have some Disneyland planning content that will be coming. I haven't filmed any of these yet, but I worked a lot on the trip sketches over the holidays, and so there's, yeah, a Disneyland update coming very soon. It might post before this video, honestly. Specifically, I really want to hone in on dining and get some of your thoughts and advice there, but other aspects of the trip surely will come up. And then I've also been working on the next wave of Walt Disney World stuff, which is DVC heavy planning, so we'll talk about that at some point too. After the last monthly creator update, a handful of you reached out. I think I expressed some concerns about my job situation. It is very hectic, very stressful. I'm in a really weird spot right now. I don't really know what's going to happen across the next 1 to 2 months. So if I do disappear, just know it's job related, but I'm fine. I'll try to make a community post too to make sure everybody knows. Or, follow me on Ko-fi. I'll definitely post there. But thank you for the well wishes. I do really appreciate it. And I continue to be in a weird limbo. And once this settles out, hopefully I'll have more energy, more time, and more of myself to put into the channel. So sorry I've been late getting back to comments and such. I just really can't express how strange and stressful of a situation I've been placed in, and just kind of navigating my day-to-day life has been really taking it out of me. But yeah, we're working through it, and hopefully the saga will come to an end soon. Thank you for the support of the channel and as me as a person. It honestly is really touching and very sweet. I appreciate all of your comments. And yeah, again, the next monthly creator update is the year 5 anniversary. So anything you want to see there, kind of nothing's off limits very often in these. I keep it Disney or theme park focused, but we tend to open that up once a year for the anniversary video. So let me know. I'm excited to hear your questions, and I can't wait to talk to you all next month. I hope you're all staying safe and warm. It's been so cold where I'm at recently, like well below our average, and I am not built for the cold, but again, we're making it through. May the rest of your day be magical, and we'll see you real soon at Pixie Dust PhD.